So it's even possible that we could go straight into the early shop here. If we remove one, we could just go here and remove another. That would be interesting. What's up, Porg is gone? How's it going? Porg is gone? Porgy Z gone? No, there's no R in there. It's Pog is gone. Pog is gone? No, I like Pog. Actually, no. The guy's kind of garbage. Misidentified a Pog. Okay, listen, I've been watching a lot of Wellen recently. I don't know if you guys know Wellen. If you're into Rust at all, you know Wellen. And he plays with this guy Porgy. So I have Porgy on my mind. Soggy Soggy, let's get Poggy. Something like that, yes. So yeah, 100 gold into this shop is interesting. Yeah, being able to take out the Spicy Elite in this act seems preferable, as well as getting some late campfires seems really nice. Upgrades are usually really, really high impact when your deck is relatively small. Upgrades are, like, more meaningful because you're playing the cards more often, right? How's the rest of the Rocket League stream? It was good. We actually, so we started off and we were just, like, losing big time, and then we won our last, like, bunch of runs. And, like, the new season just started, and I completed my placements before the stream. And, yeah, we're in Grand Champ already, so that's a good sign, I guess. It was fun. It was fun. I might do Rocket League again today. We'll see. I made a new, like, scene in my OBS for Rocket League. So, yeah. I think 100 gold into this shop is quite reasonable. But the free remove is just so tempting. It's so tempting. And I really like the like double question mark here, and then we get to go to this fire, and then we get to just have complete total free reign over, like, what we want to do here. I mean, we pretty much always want to go for 2 elites. That's very clear. We want to kill the Spicy Elite here. If we're only going for 2 elites, we should definitely go for the Spicy Elite. And even if we feel strong, I would say we would even want to maybe skip this fire and try to go for this elite, and get 3 elites. But you know, that's gonna depend on, you know, if we somehow get an upgrade in these 2 and get the eruption upgrade. I think that would really incentivize me to go here. Or if we just have, like, really strong cards and potions, then I would say, okay, fine. But yeah, you can't really go wrong with a good old remove one. 100 gold is fine, but remove is just probably a little bit better. And yeah, there is some consideration to going here, and just removing right away. It also gives us technically the opportunity to, if we do decently on the gold here, it gives us a pretty okay chance to be able to buy a, like, if let's say there's a Rushdown or a Mental Fortress or anything, any good uncommon here on sale, we could buy it potentially. Is Minty Spire cringe? I don't personally like it. I don't have anything against people who do. It's just not personally for me. What's up, Kuro? How's it going? I mean, remove 2 is very tempting. Like, just getting another removal is very, very, very tempting. I mean, I usually say, like, going to early shops is good, and I pretty much stand by that. The only problem that I have is that I usually don't like to go to the shop right away. I would prefer to go to this shop after, you know, after being able to, like, if the shop was here, I would like it a lot more, if that makes sense. Like, you want to be able to get some cards, get some gold, kind of see what's going on with your deck before you do that. But honestly, like, the removal's just so huge. I'll probably just go for it anyway. Like, legitimately, just removing one for 75 gold is just, like, it's just such an insanely good deal, especially when you already have one removal. Okay, so Vault on sale versus remove. Really sucks to see Ink Bottle and Akabeko in here. We added a card. That's nice. Yeah, Fear No Evil is one of the best cards to see early. Not only is it a damage card, but it's also a component of the Infinite, and it's also a stance manipulator, so it's just an incredible card to see early. I guess I should probably have a streak command. Thank you, Byron. So we could purchase a vault here, or we could purchase a remove. Or we could purchase a potion, although if it's pretty likely that we're not going to this elite, and therefore I don't really find it necessary to purchase a potion because we're going to be going to at least 3 more hallways before we face our first elite. So yeah, purchasing a potion just seems quite unnecessary. I'm a removal monkey. Let's just go ahead and remove. We could go to another shop and remove again, but that seems very dubious. Good fights, very nice. These are garbage cards. We do not want them. At some point we will be looking for some sort of guardian solution, but these are not really it, so... yeah. No. Okay, this is a kill here. And then next turn we have guaranteed kill here. We go Vigilance, Miracle, Eruption, Strike, Fear No Evil. That kills here. And then next turn we have Strike, Strike, Strike here. Flurry of Blows is a card that I can consider taking here. Also, Dexterity Potion is actually quite nice for the Guardian. How is this elite? Not amazing, honestly. I'm not super enthused by this elite currently. I would probably like to go to some hallways before we try to fight the elite here. I do think Flurry is worth picking up here. We already have 2 removals. We're ahead on gold because we got the gold event. And... yeah, Flurry is a card. We also already have a Stance Manipulator added to the deck outside of just our first 2. All of these things make Flurry, like, much more pickable, I would say. What's up, guys? How's it going? Yeah. I'll just click follow up. So yeah, if we had a potion that actually did something, I would consider going here. But without a potion that actually does something, I am less enthused. The question is, are we still removing defense here? Because it is Guardian, right? Like, Guardian is kind of no joke. You know, you do actually have to think about some kind of defensive consistency versus the Guardian. And we're definitely not there yet, you know? No guts, no glory. Yeah, yeah, what the hell? Oh, that's so weird. I never realized that. He's like flashing and big now, but if we highlight him, he gets small. Skipping elites on Watcher. Yeah, I mean, the truth of the matter is that Watcher is not actually as strong versus elites as, like... I mean, to be fair, there are things that we could have done, like different decisions that could have been made that would have made us a lot better versus this elite. But ultimately, like, I would like a potion that actually does something. And I would like to add one more card that is, like, good for the elite. And then I would feel pretty happy going there. And really, this elite is probably in the place of 2 upgrades, honestly. Because, like, if we don't go to this elite and we go here and here, it's possible that we could do upgrades at every fire here. Whereas, like, if we go here, it's pretty likely that we're going to have to rest at some point. What's up, Barox? Yeah, so I think skipping the elite is correct here. And now here's a big question. Do we want to go to an extra question mark, or do we want to go to an extra fight? At this point, I think we've seen 1 potion in 3 fights, which means we're at a 50% potion chance right now. So 50-60 means it's very likely that we have a potion going into here, which I do like. However, if one of these is one of the bad advanced hallways, that's very scary for us. What's good here? Well, any removal event is good. Would we still remove a defend? Thanks for that follow, friend. I think we would still remove a defend. But we may, after removing a defend, we may actually have to add a block card versus the Guardian. Yeah, but I do still think defend remove is in order here. If we were to find a removal event here. Okay, so Serpent is a dead node. Any of the removal events, which are Cleric, Wing Statue, Living Wall, all good. Is it better to remove defense on Watcher instead of strikes? Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. And the reason is pretty simple. It's the fact that Eruption is a card in your deck, and the power of Watcher's base deck is entirely dependent on your ability to draw strikes alongside Eruption, right? If you draw Eruption and a bunch of defends, then your deck sucks. But if you draw Eruption and a bunch of strikes, then all of a sudden your deck is super OP. So yes, you do want to remove defends, and basically every fight should be ending in like 2 turns. Basically it should be like, you draw Eruption, the fight is over. Mostly. Yeah, it's just because Eruption is so powerful. I think we do actually even have the option to opt out of this elite if these go very poorly. And then, like, rest into the Spicy Elite if we need to do that. Yeah, I mean, I want to see cards, and we already have removals. And defense are even, like, decent for Guardian, especially with the Dexterity Potion. Okay, this is a pretty decent event for us. Or not event, but fight. Okay, so the absolute worst thing, we need to make sure that we can kill next turn if we draw Eruption. So if we draw Eruption, we always draw 3 strikes alongside it, which means we always have, and we always get Flurry back. Yeah, so there's no way that we can kill if we don't draw Eruption. So it's just 1 out of 6 to draw Eruption, and 1 out of 6 to take 11 damage, basically. And I think that we always want to Miracle the Fear No Evil here, because in the case that we don't draw Eruption, then we want to have the greatest chance of killing... Yeah. Okay, good. No damage taken, very nice. Explosive Potion acquired, Rushdown acquired. Okay, we win the run. Very cool, love it. Very, very into winning the run at the moment. All right. Epic. Yeah. Pretty neat. 15.9. And it's really awesome because we've only added one, like, non-combo card. Which is, yeah, that's like the coolest part, is that we've only added one non-combo card. Now, the slight issue here is that we actually do not have any capability of filling our hand at the moment. So outside of removals, we really actually can't go infinite. Like, we currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 real cards. So if we can fill our hand, we can go infinite. But the thing is that there's just absolutely no way for us to fill our hand because we don't have anything that actually offers draw positivity. So we would need, like, 4 removals in order to actually go infinite here. 4 pressure points. Half of Act 2 was pretty fun. Lost 2 elites before the part since I lack block cards. Yeah, a lot of... So the thing is that there are a couple of reasons why pressure points is bad. Number 1, pressure points doesn't work with Wrath. Number 2, if you take a pressure points, there's no guarantee that you're going to see more. And number 3 is that all of Watcher's best block strategies revolve around cards that aren't pressure points. Like stance changing with Mental Fortress, attacking into Talk to the Hand. Those are Watcher's 2 best block solutions. And pressure points doesn't work with either of them. So you have to figure out, and even like the other, really good way to block is like Halt plus, hopefully some dexterity. And Halt also requires that you're in Wrath. So it's like, even if I had the infinite, I couldn't fill my hand quickly and painfully. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so how in the heck are we doing this turn? What's the worst hand we can draw next turn? The worst hand we can draw next turn is like defend, Ascender's Bane, rush down, 1 strike. So we need to play around that. Actually, no, that's not even that bad, because if we draw to defend, Ascender's Bane, rush down, 1 strike, then if we end this turn in calm, we're not taking any damage. The question is, are we allowed to end this turn in calm? I think the answer is yes. We can do like... So this will do 16. So we need to do an additional... We need to do 15 here. Which we can't do super cleanly, but we can do somewhat cleanly. Oh, it's just lethal. What am I even... I'm playing the Watcher. We just have a kill this turn, of course. Silly me. These cards are garbage. This potion also sucks. Unfortunate that we get a potion here, and unfortunate that it's a garbage potion, but very fortunate that we fought 5 fights and taken 0 damage, by the way. That's very nice. Panacea's run yesterday. I think so. Yeah, I think it was a win. Yes, rushdown by floor 8. Very nice. It was actually floor 7 rushdown. Okay, so now we actually do have somewhat of a quandary here, which is, are question marks legitimately better than elites because removals are the only thing that we care about? Because basically we kill every enemy up until, well, I guess technically Spiker, but like every enemy until really Time Eater, if we just remove like 4 cards from our deck. Which is obviously easier said than done. But yeah, if we remove 4 cards, then we're there. So, you know, like, we could go on this 2 elite path. The problem is that there are guaranteed to be 0 removals on this path. How do we feel about Guardian? I think if we go into Guardian healthy and also use the Dexterity Potion, I think we feel pretty solid about Guardian, I would say. Definitely want to save the Explosive Potion in case we do want to go to an Elite. But I'm thinking about, like, the 3 question mark... like, the 3 question mark path here. I mean, there's no reason to ever go to this chest. We're choosing between which chest to go to, and there's no reason to ever go to this chest over this chest, because we would never want to go to this path regardless. And essentially, like, this path here and this path here are exactly the same paths. So we'll always go to this chest and see what's inside of it. Again, these cards are complete garbage. Foreign Influence is actually kind of interesting as a card in these scenarios because you can actually skip the card here. So technically speaking, Foreign Influence can just straight up be skipped, which is actually quite nice. But yeah, we don't want it for sure. Okay, Ancient Tea Set or Ancient Key Set? It is incredibly unlikely that this energy will ever be relevant. So I can certainly see taking the key here. We did get some gold, which is nice. We've been to only 1 question mark so far, so we only have a 6, 9, 12% chance of shop if we go to these 3 question marks. Missing out on 2 elites is a huge deal, you know? Like, money, you know, elites are kind of like removes, right? Because removals equal, or elites equal money, and money equals removes, right? Like, okay, we've removed 1 set of shop, which means our next removal is 100 gold. The removal following that is 125 gold. The removal following that is 150 gold, right? So realistically, like, we need to have, you know, like, by the time we get to the, like, I don't know. I mean, we're going to have plenty of gold, I guess, to remove, right? It's the ultimate main point, because we really haven't added a lot of cards. But, I mean, the more removes that we get, the better we are, right? The better we are, faster. Just removals are just so enormously important here. Yeah, I think it's very unlikely that this ever does anything, so I'll grab the key here. Struggle into Madness Infinite? Nice. Nice. Yeah, this is a floor 9 deck. This is a floor 9 deck. Pretty much ideal situation, in that the only cards that we've added to the deck are the cards that make us go vroom, which is pretty cool. Although, technically speaking, I would, at this point, rather this be an Inner Piece than a Fear No Evil. Because Inner Piece actually allows you to fill hand, whereas Fear No Evil does not. So there are certain aspects, there are certain, you know, advantages that Fear No Evil has over Inner Piece, but generally speaking, like, if you... So it is a really difficult decision to make in the early game, though, because the idea is that Fear No Evil is just a damage card, and you do need damage in order to progress through the early game, right? But, like, if you already have the rushdown and have the possibility of taking a relatively conservative path, I would say that Inner Peace should be considered over Fear No Evil if you saw them both on the same screen. Although, like, the chances that you get yourself into exactly that particular situation are quite slim. Why do you need to fill the hand? Yeah, to go infinite. Yep, exactly. You need... So there are a few ways that we can fill hand here. Number one is just getting enough removals so that the entire deck just fits in one hand. Number two is finding an inner piece. That would help us a lot. And number three is Pyramid, and number four is Scrawl. Scrawl does what you want it to do in terms of having it fill up your hand. The main issue with Scrawl is that you can't repeat it. So, basically, like, any fight which requires you to go for more than one turn, is not going to be able to be carried by Scrawl. Oh, we definitely have enough time for 4 removals. And even just seeing, like, 1 remove in these 3 events, which is fairly likely, right? This was an event that wasn't a remove. It is fairly likely that we will see at least 1 removal event in these 3 events, right? Like, 1 removal event would be awesome. 2 removal events would be, like, completely ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, with what we have, it just seems like elites don't actually matter that much. As much as that pains me to say. What if we don't even go to this fire? Because what are we actually upgrading? Maybe we want to upgrade, like, Vigilance and Rushdown here. Like, I could definitely see the Rushdown... Like, the Vigilance upgrade for the Guardian, I think, is a pretty big deal, potentially. And the Rushdown, like, yeah, we could upgrade Vigilance and Rushdown. I could certainly see that being the case here. I mean, elites just kind of suck. I don't know what to say. Like, I mean, the point is that, though, the elites are very consistent, right? The elites are very consistent in terms of, like, they can offer us... I mean, they're always going to give us gold. They're always going to give us relics. They're always going to give us the best chance to see Mental Fortress, which is one of our block solutions, or Talk to the Hand, which is another one of our block solutions, potentially, right? So, you know, we do need to see those cards eventually. But we are in a position where taking cards is not necessary. Well, Mental Fortress and Talk to the Hand we can take, right? Those are certainly pickable cards at this point. Taking the Spicy now opens up routing later, exactly. Yeah, and potentially, like, if this was a removal, I would say, okay, let's go for the Spicy now, right? There's also a weird question of, like, we are facing Guardian, so... Like, are we removing a defend here? Maybe it's a strike before a defend at this point? Going into the Guardian? Seems weird. Right, so basically this guy... You have to kill this guy in one of the 3 acts. We have a pretty prime situation to kill him now, is sort of the idea here. And, like, you know, in a normal circumstance, the routing through this act would be incredibly obvious. It would just be, we're relatively strong, we take these 2 elites, boom, done. Right? It's 2 elites, it's 2 fires. Like, fires are generally considered to be very high-value nodes, and elites are almost always going to be the highest value nodes. Now, in our particular case, that is not entirely consistent with how we feel about our deck, because of the fact that we literally need... is it 4 removes? Is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... So yeah, in order to have our entire deck in our hand, Well, technically, Eruption can draw 3, because if Flurry of Blows in the discard pile, but that's a little bit of a niche scenario. More realistically, we need... Yeah, we need to have 6 real cards, which means we need 4 removals in order to actually go infinite without Scrawl. Which is a pretty tall task. Like, you know, if we... Because the problem here is that we go to 0 question marks. Like, if this was... If this was, like, these 2 elites and then, you know, 2 question marks here... I would say, like, okay, what if we go to this question mark and it's a removal event? Let's just say we go to this question mark and it's a removal event. Then we probably take the Spicy Elite, right? Right? That makes some sense, I think. What are the actual chances that these 3 events are actually a removal? Do we want to talk about that? Maybe that's the most relevant thing to actually talk about. I've kind of been speaking as though, on average, these 3 yield, like, 1 remove. Because there are 3 events that can offer removal in Act 1. And there's also the possibility that one of these could be a shop. To lose in Act 2? I'm sorry. Yeah, I've definitely lost in Act 2 in all of my last 15 runs where I've won every single one of them. Definitely lost in Act 2 in all of those. What are the chances of getting remove all strikes and defends event? There is no remove all strikes and defends event. Are you talking about the one that's like remove or upgrade all your strikes and defends? Because that's an Act 2 exclusive. Yeah, that's an Act 2 exclusive. Maybe Act 2 is the better act to be farming events. Is that true? Well, Act 2 has 3 really good ones. There is that one that we talked about, which is just a free removal. There is the Augmenter, which isn't a removal, but it's 2 transforms. So it could actually be better than a removal. And then there's the Cleric also in Act 2, right? Which is just a 75 gold removal. Yeah. I mean... It seems very high variance. I mean, the thing that would kind of mostly lead me towards doing this is that even if we go to all of these nodes and get basically nothing, we're still probably beating Guardian with what we currently have. Which is, you know, very good, right? 11 events, 3 remove events for Act 1. 10 if you saw a remove event already. Yeah, we did. We did. So, on average, we probably see 2 event nodes in these 3 nodes. And so that's 2... Hold on, let's just do the hypergeometric calculator. Let's assume that shrines aren't a thing, even though we do know that they are. So population size 10, number of successes 3, sample size 3, number of successes 1. So there's a 70% chance that there is 1 or more removal events in these 3 question marks. And, like, shrines, I think, kind of cancel each other out because there are, like, removal shrines. So, yeah. And even dupe shrine, like, we could dupe rushdown, and that would be huge, right? Oh, yeah, another rushdown is, like, actually enormous for this deck as well. Which maybe makes events better, because we could dupe rushdown? Bet it's a Dead Adventurer. I mean, Dead Adventurer wouldn't be that bad for us either. Like, yeah, I mean, honestly, like, the Mushrooms and the Dead Adventurer aren't even that bad, right? Yeah, I mean, we can always take this later. We just want the removals now. The removals now are just more important than anything, I think. That is not a removal. That is the opposite of a removal. Thank you, sir. Vigilance upgrade or Rushdown upgrade? With Fear No Evil upgrade, or with Fear No Evil, I want to take the Vigilance upgrade. I think that going into Guardian is really huge. We could use the Explosive Potion right now for 6 HP. I don't love that. Infinite. Yeah, I don't love it. Cringe. Come on, baby. Okay, so that did not pay off at all, unfortunately. Which sucks. Do we upgrade Fear No Evil, or do we upgrade Rushdown? We probably upgrade Fear No Evil here. We're not going to be super pressed for energy, and we need damage. Dexterity Potion certainly goes here. So we can just play defend here, I guess. And hopefully draw Vigilance next turn. If we don't draw Vigilance next turn, we're very sad. But if we draw Vigilance... Like, if we play Eruption this turn, we have... Yeah, I think we just play defend. We're shuffling out Vigilance and Defend. I mean, we know we're gonna take damage in this fight, right? It's like we just know we're taking damage in this fight. We actually technically could wait and then 9 + 7, so we could technically split next turn. But I mean, we have guaranteed block, so it's, I don't know. Let's just take guaranteed block. This fight won't last that long. I mean, we'll take a little damage, but it's okay. So you can go Defend, Flurry, Vigilance, Flurry here. Again, we knew we were taking damage in this fight. It's not like we were under any illusions about taking damage here. Um, so we can play Vigilance, Eruption. Is this 22? Eruption Strike is 21, so yeah, that's a kill. We do have the energy, right? We have 3 energy after Vigilance, yeah. Okay, Scrawl is enormous, because it will actually allow us to go infinite, and that'll tide us over until we can get the removals that we need. Scrawl obviously much better than Vault in this case because it does actually allow us to fill our hand. And oh look, it's Empty Cage or Violet Lotus. Wow, that's actually a huge decision. This is actually an enormous decision because Violet Lotus technically means that we don't have to add any other cards because we can use Eruption Vigilance in order to gain block. The issue with that is that well, we don't get removals, and so we have to find 4 more removals, which is not necessarily that hard. I mean, the ability, like, going to 4 more shops is not incredibly difficult, but I honestly think that the removals are a lot better for us right now. I think the removals are a lot better. I think that, like, block solutions, when you have this many removals, there are so many ways to solve block. The Abacus solves block. Madness solves block. Which Madness is an event in Act 3, right? And if you can event farm in Act 3, it's just, like, so easy, right? We have Fear No Evil, so Talk to the Hand solves block, and Mental Fortress solves block, and Rushdown plus a Halt solves block, so it's like Madness, Talk to the Hand, Mental Fortress, Rushdown plus Halt, the Abacus. So we literally have 5 different ways. 5 different ways that we can solve block, right? And the point is that this is just like one way that we can solve block. And Empty Cage is just so enormous here. I mean, just increasing our consistency is just, yeah, very, very, very important, I think. If we take the Violet Lotus, we are technically solved already, yes. But it makes us significantly weaker in Act 2, right? Significantly weaker in Act 2. Which is not super cool, you know? I don't really want to be significantly weaker in Act 2. I want to be able to actually do stuff in Act 2 because, hello, we did nothing in Act 1. So, yeah, being able to do stuff in Act 2 would be very neat. I would definitely enjoy being able to do stuff in Act 2, rather than not being able to do anything in Act 2 and, you know, like, being sad, right? And again, so many ways to solve block here. Conclude as an insta-pick and everyone who claimed otherwise got downvoted? Yes. Yes. Take the third option. Make it a challenge. Yeah, I don't think so. I do not think so. Alright, now the question is, do we cage 2 strikes? Do we cage... I think we cage 2 strikes, because any turn where we draw Scrawl, we win the fight instantly. And any turn where we do not draw Scrawl, we are probably not killing either. So we want to be able to block in. Downvoted hard for saying Wild Strike is bad. Oh my god. Yeah, the Slay the Spire subreddit has no idea what they're talking about. They're very silly. Very silly indeed. Yeah, so I think it's 2 strikes here. Okay, Automaton, no problem. Okay, we can take 2 shops right away, which I think is very, very good. It does unfortunately involve forcing ourselves into 2 elites, which I'm not a huge fan of. And doesn't allow us to take the super elite, which I also don't really like. But we need to go here. There's no question. So we'll go here, and we'll decide after. Yeah, and so this is exactly what I'm talking about. If this was a strike, we would just be taking more damage on this turn, straight up. I'm not going to use a potion for 2 HP here. Okay, now that is unfortunate. Literal bottom deck scrawl. It's okay, though. Because we can still, full block this turn. One of the main reasons that Flurry of Blows is really good in these kinds of decks is because it's an excellent way to deal with the birds. Cut Through Fate isn't draw positive, and therefore it's not worth it here. Okay, well, there's Mental Fortress, so, yeah. Fish could solve our gold deficit problem. Interesting. Yeah, Empty Mind... We can talk about it. We definitely are removing. And again, I think Remove Strike is in order, just because, for the aforementioned reasons. We take Mental Fortress because it solves our block. We remove a strike because it's a removal. Okay, so now we removed for 100, which means the next removal is 125. We need to make sure that we have 125 going into the next shop. So whatever we do here, we need to know that we're going to be able to have 125 gold going into this shop. Going infinite and beyond? Indeed. Indeed we are. Going infinite and beyond. Once again. Yes, salute to the Maw Bank, of course. Now, if we were to do something here, I would say that something would be, we purchase a Gambler's Brew, because that potentially gives us a solve versus Slavers. Like, if we remove here, we're guaranteed to be able... Well, even if we don't, because we can gamble the Miracle, right? Gambler's Brew basically solves any fight on turn 1 for us as long as we're getting attacked. I do often go infinite. It's basically because this character is very dumb. Isn't it better to buy Gambler's Brew in the next shop instead? I guess. But also, Gambler's Brew is not guaranteed to be in the next shop. So, yeah. Not really sure. Not really sure where your head's at on that one. So I'm considering how many removes we actually need for heart fight consistency here. Because now the question that we have to ask ourselves is, with 2 statuses in the deck, how consistently can we draw full here, right? Because right now we have 4, 5, 6, 7 real cards. So if we have 2 statuses in the deck, we're not drawing full, which means we need... we still need 3 more removals, which, if they all come from shops, is 125, 150, 175, right? Now, if we get 125 removal, 125 plus 150 is 275. So let's say that, like, one of these question marks were to be a shop. If we purchased this Gambler's Brew, we would not be able to remove if one of these was a shop, right? Because we have to remove here for 125, which means we're going to be basically out of money, and there's no way that we're going to gain 150 gold. Yeah. I mean, well, no, that's not entirely true. Like, I could see buying Cauldron in, you know, like late Act 3 or Act 4 if you are desperate for a potion solution to the final fights. So the issue right now is Slavers completely destroy us, right? If we don't draw Scrawl on turn 1, and... I mean, we always are going this way, which means we kind of need to buy this, right? We just have to buy it. So the question is, Explosive Potion versus Blessing of the Forge. And the answer to that question is, I don't know the answer to that question. Yeah. Let's do that. Okay, so unfortunately Chosen is not attacking us here on turn 1. And also, unfortunately, if we don't play Scrawl, then... this fight could get a little ugly for us, actually. Yeah, it's a 2-year-old post. I wouldn't really put much stock in it. I mean, this is okay. Like, we still have Rushdown and Mental Fortress here. I'll keep Scrawl in the deck, I think. Alright, fight was fine. Tantrum we don't need. Liquid Bronze is terrible. Is Liquid Memories better than Explosive Potion? Well, we don't have any cards that actually draw right now, so... I would say probably not. Yeah, with no cards in our deck that actually draw, Liquid Memories is pretty crap. I like the Explosive Potion for Gremlin Leader, specifically. Right now, we just don't actually have anything to Memories. I guess we could technically Memories Scrawl on a certain turn. Yeah, we're gonna have to fight an Elite in Act 3. The problem with this deck is that if Nemesis burns us on turn 1, we don't... Like, we can't go infinite when Nemesis burns us. So we have to figure out a way to go infinite with, like, 5 burns in our deck, which is really weird. And potentially Liquid Memories could help with that. I mean, if we get to 5 real cards, we can do it, right? Like, 1, 2... We're at 7 right now, so we only really need 2 removes before Nemesis to make that actually work. I wonder at what point we remove Flurry over Strikes and Defends, because these get hit by Pandora's Box. It's an interesting thought. Yeah, Gremlin Leader should be really easy anyway. I'm gonna throw away this Explosive Potion. Here's the Abacus. Oh, Enlightenment is also another solution, by the way, to block positivity, because if you upgrade Enlightenment, then Vigilance costs 1 forever, which is pretty cool. We could probably, like, legitimately removing Flurry of Blows, like... Well... Yeah, I mean, there is the... It's probably just Strike still, though, huh? I mean, at this point, with 3 cards... I mean, we would still take B-Box with 3 cards, right? Yeah, no... With Mental Fortress, there's no case for the Abacus. And we also have to consider falling here, which could be pretty awkward. Yeah, we're not falling proof at the moment. And I mean, we never will be, because we are technically reliant on 2 powers. The only way that we could be falling proof... I guess Tantrum would have made us falling proof. Yeah, this is why you really want to take the Super Elite early. I should have considered that more, for sure. I mean, it's definitely removal here. No, there's no reason to buy another Mental Fortress. It does nothing for us now, except for brick draws on early turns, makes it less likely that we'll draw Scrawl. And it doesn't do anything for us later either, because we're never ever gonna need the block for 2 Mental Fortress. Just doesn't do anything. Keeping a strike rather than a defend make you less likely to lose to falling. True. Wait, no. We can always lose a skill, actually. We can always lose a skill. Because we're going to get to the point where we don't actually need Scrawl. With this removal, we actually are at the point where we don't need Scrawl anymore. Well, yeah. I mean, we'll get to the point where we don't need Scrawl, so we can always lose a skill, which means we're actually fine against falling. I'm just wondering about Flurry versus Strike. There's functionally no difference here, so I'm actually going to get rid of Flurry because of Pandora's Box. Okay, it is Slavers. We do draw Scrawl on turn 1, though, so... we do not need to use the Gambler's Brew, which is quite nice. Yeah, so we basically have a 50-50 to draw Scrawl on turn 1 in any fight, and... if we do draw Scrawl on turn 1, then we win instantly, basically. These cards do nothing. Come here, we upgrade Scrawl at this point. Actually, does that actually do anything? Yes, it can do something. Okay, another rushdown. It even says plus on it. I think that's probably positive here. The reason that I say that rushdown is probably positive is it does a lot in terms of allowing us to fill hand in the heart and the time meter fight. It also helps us to... it's not really necessarily a brick draw on turn 1, because Eruption, like, if we draw Eruption alongside Rushdown, we can, like, use it to draw more, right? So yeah, I will take second Rushdown here. Oh, okay. Pendant, Nunchaku, Ornamental Fan, all back to back to back. Let's just go for events. I'm not going to lose all my gold. No, thank you. I played, Kill Bear first. You savage. I will kill Bear first. Rushdown already rearing its ugly head? Not really, though. I played Hearthstone before Slay the Spire, and I was pretty good at it. Not the best, but I was okay. And this is why 2 rushdowns is good, because if we didn't have 2 rushdowns, we wouldn't be going infinite on this turn. Yeah, we certainly don't need Meditate. Distilled Chaos is probably better than Liquid Memories. Yeah, this is a huge, like, bailout type of a potion. Yeah, I did get top 100 legend at one point. What made me stop? What made me stop was that I wasn't playing the game enough to not spend money on it. I basically never played the game enough to not spend money on it. Like, a lot of people, you know, would play the arena and get packs that way. But I didn't. I was never that into it, but I was happy to spend money on it because I was playing it enough. But then I kind of stopped playing it, so I was like, okay, well, I don't want to spend money on this anymore, and so it just became, like, not really worth it in any way. Extra gold is always nice. This elite can technically be slavers, which might make us have to use a potion. We'll grab this upgrade now. We can probably just go to the elite, though. It's fine. I just got up to like 2 or 3 before the season ends. Yeah, it was, I mean, I only hit legend a few times, but I, like, every time that I grinded for it, I hit it. I just, like I said, I didn't really play the game that much, so, you know, I would kind of, like, play, you know, a few hours, you know, a week, like, most of the time, and then, like, sometimes I would be like, okay, I'm gonna grind for legend this season, and I would do it. It's that follow friend. What's up, Y? Save the fairy? Yeah, no, it's not better than these, unfortunately. Rushdown upgrade does have potential to be relevant, I suppose, so we'll take it. Very likely to draw Scrawl next turn, so we'll just do that. And we're getting attacked. Yeah, so this whole having to fight the Spicy Elite in Act 3 thing is pretty scary, not gonna lie. But we have tools to deal with a potential scary nemesis. Garbage cards. And Black Star is the only one that doesn't have a downside here, so we'll take it. The energy is pretty irrelevant, so I'll just take Black Star. Looks like the Spicy Elite is here, which means there are no shops on the Spicy Elite path, which sucks a lot. And we have to fight 2 elites, which is also pretty sucky. Yeah. Yeah, not exactly ideal here, but we will make do. We will make do. I mean, we have to go there, so there's nothing really to discuss. This is definitely why you want to, because we would love to be able to take this path, right? We'd love to be able to take this path. Or even just be able to grab this shop, but alas, you can't always get what you want. Simmering Fury is actually kind of interesting here, because it does allow us to draw more cards on, like, the next turn. Which, like, actually does make kind of a difference. The problem is that it bricks our turn 1 draws, right? And we really just want to draw Scrawl on turn 1. I think we skip it. Cut Through Fate is kind of interesting. Because, number one, it significantly increases the chances that we will draw Scrawl on turn 1, which is pretty huge. And number two is, in any fight where, like, mainly just the Time Eater and the Heart, Cut Through Fate actually can help us, because we're basically using double Rushdown in order to fill hand, right? So, Cut Through Fate actually does help us in a way, because it can help us to find Eruption more consistently. Like, okay, so the odds of, like, okay, if we have, let's assume that we're going to get one more removal, right? We would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'd have 5, 7 real cards in the deck. We can't exactly set up our draw pile in any way here. So we're sort of relying on top-decking Eruption, which doesn't always happen. And Cut Through Fate significantly increases the chances that it does. So I would say that this Cut Through Fate is actually positive. Yeah, I like the cut, actually, quite a bit. Okay, free gold that we can't spend, awesome. And free losing max HP, awesome. Oh, actually very awesome. Very, very important. Okay, next fight is an elite, so I would like to set up the relics here. I don't know how, like, possible that is. Okay, it is Nemesis, but we're not getting burned on turn 1, which is good. However, we did not draw Scrawl on turn 1, but we do have 4 out of 7 to cut into it here. Okay, we did not cut into it, which means that we need to use a potion. Which is fine. Not ideal, but fine. The question is, which of these potions is more valuable? And I would think that the Gambler's Brew would be more valuable, right? Because Gambler's Brew allows us to get a 6-card reach, whereas the Distilled Chaos only allows us to get a 3-card reach. Yeah, the Nemesis can burn us next turn, that's the idea. And we are not allowed to let that happen. Okay, another cut-through fate, I think, is... Yeah, not good. I don't think we need another one. We have to go here. And we should probably recall... Yeah, none of our upgrades make any sense, so let's recall now. Omamori is, like I always say, just nice protection against the events being super cringe. Okay, Strength, Snake Lady, fun. Okay, we did manage to cut into the scroll. Oh yeah, and we are technically energy positive with the Infinite with Nunchaku, which could help us for setting up in the heart fight. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in the deck. So if we draw exactly Strike, Defend, Vigilance, Defend, and Fear No Evil, we don't go Infinite. The question is, can we prevent that from happening? I don't know. I don't care. It's very unlikely. Meditate could technically help us as well, although we don't need it, and again, I just want to increase the consistency that we draw the scroll early here. It's the only thing that I really care about at this point. Bishop. Come on, Bishop. Where Calcum does basically nothing. Oh, Sundial. Alright, well that's fun. Not that it's needed here, but it is fun. Transient. You can just use Speed Potion here. It's, like, never gonna be relevant. Guess we do have to kill this guy, unfortunately. Oh yeah, I could actually be... doing that. I'm just so used to only having one rush down. We can upgrade this, and so yes, it's obviously very positive. Adding another Scrawl to the deck makes it much more likely that we draw Scrawl on turn 1. I don't really need to explain how that works, hopefully. We do unfortunately have to wait for this moron to attack us. I mean, we pretty much have to rest anyway. The question is if they both double burn us and we don't draw Scrawl, we're very sad. Yeah, let's not. Goodbye. No need to be greedy. Sure, I guess. Oh no, we're playing powers versus the Power Bird. Taking the question mark for a quicker floor? Yeah, pretty much. Oh wait, I took the pair, so we're not at perfect max HP anymore? What a travesty. Actually got really close to bricking there, but we didn't, so, you know, that's cool and stuff. Goodbye. Alright, just don't give me the annoying one, please. Hey, it's not the annoying one. Let's go. I have been steadily dodging the time meter in my last few Watcher runs. I actually think that I've dodged the time meter, like, very consistently. Which is pretty nice, not gonna lie. Again, not because any of the runs actually would have lost to time meter, it's just far more annoying to have to fight that stupid snail. Listen, it's ethical if I want it to be ethical, okay? Oh, shoot. Screw you, Sundial, you stupid piece of garbage. Whatever, die. This thing is good. You don't need this. 2-thump, 2-thump, 3-thump, blah blah blah, deep pulsing dread. Blah, blah, blah. Get to Act 4. I guess we're just upgrading a defend, because it's the only upgrade left. Sure. I don't want to have unupgraded cards in my deck. That's cringe. Teardrop Blocket doesn't really do anything, but we'll buy it anyway, because it's cute. Bag of Marbles also does basically nothing. 444. Yes. Bag of Marbles, whatever. I don't even know. We can set up the drop pile, right? It's, like, possible to set up the drop pile, I'm pretty sure. I just have to actually think about it, and then we can do it. Sure, let's artificially increase the size of our relic bar. Let's utilize all of our gold, you know? Yeah, did I have a Omamori when I took the Madness event? I don't think I did, right? I'm pretty sure I didn't. Heading up? Yeah, no dip. I'm glad we're fully stripping their artifacts. That's very important. Isn't regen pot better than block? Not if you're at full HP. But the answer to your question is, like, probably yes. You are right. Die. Oh, Centennial Puzzle is actually pretty nice here. Actually, wait, no, we can't. Well, no, we... whatever. These all suck. Alright, so here's a question. How do we want to do this? Because... Well, no, we just want to not take damage next turn, trigger this turn, and then trigger Centennial Puzzle next turn, is the idea. Yeah, we can scrawl here. You fool! Okay, so what we want to do is we want to do this, and then this, and then cut into not eruption. Yeah, that's how we set up the draw pile. This, cut into not eruption. Okay, yeah, so now the draw pile is set up. We always draw eruption. Everything is happy. Heuristics. Yes. Well, actually, there's no point in setting up the draw pile for next turn, because we can't even go infinite next turn. So... yeah. See, the heart is a big doofus, because it's attacking us, and it doesn't realize that we can't go infinite unless it attacks us. Oh yeah, I guess that's true. We have Sundial. Whatever. Thank goodness we got Vajra to make this go faster. Alright, well that run was very easy, so cool. Don't mind. Super fast infinite and no snail, yeah. Yeah,